105.7 Light FM. Good morning. It's 8:41 now. Advisory services offered through Second Half Financial Partners, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The opinions voiced and information provided in this material are for general informational purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which investments are appropriate for you, please consult with a financial advisor. Second Half Financial Partners, LLC does not provide tax or legal advice. Please consult your tax or legal advisor regarding your particular situation. Which means this time, check in on your money and find out what's happening on Wall Street. On to telephone, Philip Statler from Statler Financial Services in downtown Sebring. Philip, good morning. It's good to have you back this morning. I was live.
Hey, good morning, Dave. Doing well. A little chilly this morning. Still got out and got my walk in, but man, it's a nice change of pace.
It sure is. I saw one of the ladies in the offices down the hallway from us come in this morning as I was heading down toward the restroom, and she had one of those shoulder to floor length, heavy sweater coats on. I was saying, my Lord in heaven, it's still going to be 55 this afternoon. It's not that bad. My introduction to Florida 22 years ago was when we got down to one of these mornings and our business manager came in a sub-zero parka that when I lived up north, I might put on when it hit 20 below. It was just, okay, fine. Me, I'm just wearing a blazer this morning as it'll be adequate this afternoon. Hey, doing what we're supposed to be doing here. Yesterday, we had a party time based on the news that the Senate had passed a resolution to reopen the government. Now the question becomes, will the House do it? And everybody crosses their fingers that Johnson can get his ducks in a row in the House. But my Lord, what a rally. Dow was up 382 points, Standard & Poor's up 104, NASDAQ up 523 points in one day. Can you tell we were waiting for some good news on Wall Street, huh?
Yeah, we were. I mean, daggum, the Russell's up almost 1%, up $22.80. So everybody was a partying yesterday. Except for one of my clients pointed out that Elon Musk came out with some predictions for 2026 that this market's really overheated and he expects a pullback in 2026. Now, I don't know what analytic ability that Elon has, but he's a pretty smart guy. But just thought I'd throw that out there for you this morning, Dave.
I suspect he might have been reading the newsletters from Goldman Sachs because they were saying it last week. And we've been saying it for 6 or 8 months, I think, if memory serves. We are overdue for a correction. Nobody likes them, but they got to happen eventually. We did have a fly in the ointment this morning. ADP, absent government data, has been putting out weekly or biweekly updates. So we've got kind of an employment report that says the private sector actually went negative in terms of job creation in late October. So instead of waiting for last month's numbers, at the end of this month, they're giving us kind of semi-weekly reports here. So we've got a little fly in the ointment just kind of confirming in advance of the December Fed meeting that, the employment market is not flawless by any measure at this point. It's definitely showing signs of contraction. Doesn't seem to be hurting the futures any this morning, does it?
No, it doesn't seem to be hurting the futures. They're still mixed. Let me see how that compares to about 10 minutes ago. Still about the same. I mean, we got a mixed bag this morning in terms of the Dow seems to be slightly green. Everything else seems to be medium red this morning.
Okay, well, there's a little bit of profit taking after a big up day would make some sense as well. I'm looking at the numbers and what's likely to happen. All these past due reports. If the government reopens, if the House says, okay, today or tomorrow on that resolution, we may very well get like 2 months worth of government data all dumped on us all at once because most of the stuff, it's already in the computers. The button just needs to be pressed. It's going to be interesting to see what happens and what the market reaction is when we get both September and October numbers all at once in a floodgate when the government reopens. Volatility, it could be up, could be down, but this is going to be an interesting week when they finally do reopen things, won't it?
Well, it is. Now, the only benefit I might hope we might see is less revisions, right? They've had more time to get all the numbers actually in that should be in. So maybe the numbers they give us won't get revised.
You believe in Santa
Silence
Claus
on the
too,
other
don't
end
you?
there.
Yeah, I was trying. You're normally the cynic in this. I don't believe in Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny either, but we'll always hope for no revisions. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be an absolute flood of information down the line. Looking at the party sign down the line, just double checking here. Oh, crypto it got cost while the equities rallied yesterday. It's down to 104,000 this morning. That's where they got the money to buy everything that wasn't nailed down in the equity markets, evidently.
Made a little switch there, huh?
It sounds like it down the line. Bunch of tidbits from companies that are reporting out the line. One of the headlines came out of mine is Wendy's is shedding a boatload of stores. They said they could close hundreds of U.S. stores after their quarterly report didn't come in the way they planned on it coming in. I didn't realize business was that frosty over there.
And that's sad, right? Because that's that's one of the top three. I kind of call it top three, right? McDonald's, Burger King, and Wendy's. Those were
Yeah,
at least
they're one of the three big burger chains. So really, that is kind of earth shaking that one of the institutions in fast food is having a rough time. But it kind of squares with what you and I have been saying, that the economy restaurants are generally suffering in the process. More wealthy people are going to McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King, in contrast to the high-end restaurants in an effort to save money. Ditto with the off-price and the discount stores. But the low end of the market that live at those places doesn't have the cash to be able to eat out as much as they used to. So that's kind of across the board, isn't it?
yeah, it is. It is. So the other thing I want to mention, a little tidbit.
Mm-hmm.
SoftBank disclosed that it sold its entire stake in Nvidia for a whopping $5.83 billion. So Nvidia is taking it a little bit on the chin this morning, down almost 1.8% on that news. You got to wonder why. I'm sure that's what traders are wondering. So why did SoftBank, do that? Did they need the cash? They're going to go buy something else? What's the reasoning there?
That was what was going through my mind, whether it was a statement sale or a cash raising sale in anticipation of doing something else. I mean, SoftBank's big. It's one of those companies that's kind of dominated by a single mogul, I think. Out of Korea, is it, or are they Chinese? I think they're Korean, aren't they?
I don't know if they're Korean or Japanese.
Yeah, I know it's an Asian firm. That's the only thing
Yeah.
I know for sure, because when they bought a majority share of one of the big cell phone companies a few years ago, everybody changed underwear over the prospect, and I know it was from overseas. No statement made as to why they did what they did, though. Huh?
Yep, exactly. So I don't know. Yeah, nothing disclosed here on why, just that they sold, and that was a pretty hefty move.
Absolutely. Let's see other tidbits down the line. If you're waiting to get your new iPhone Air, Apple has delayed the next version of the iPhone Air coming out. If you really like those new skinny iPhones, and Warren Buffett put out this is interesting. Warren Buffett is retiring from Berkshire Hathaway, and he announced yesterday that he will no longer be speaking at the company meeting nor writing his annual letter, and that annual letter from Warren Buffett has almost been, an epistle read in church, for financial people down the line. He's done 60 of them now, and we've seen his last annual letter. I thought that might be intriguing.
Yeah, yeah, that you think about it though. I mean, I'm thinking, okay, if he's going to retire and step back, why would he keep doing those things? And and it could even get to the point where if he don't feel like it, he may not even show up to the meeting itself.
Dude's 95. He did write his Thanksgiving letter. I love the quote in it. I wish to all who read this a very happy Thanksgiving. Yes, even the jerks, it's never too late to change. I always liked Warren Buffett. I just think he's pithy as all get out with his words. Other tidbits you've heard about this morning.
It's really all the tidbits I got. I do have a couple earnings we might want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Paramount, which is now Paramount Skydance, the media stock company, they had it looks like a decent quarter. They cut additional $1 billion of savings, which was good from their merger back in August. So that speaks well for them. They beat across the board, so they're moving up this morning. Let's see what the actual number is here. A little over 6% this morning.
Cool. They bought about, it seems like half the cable networks that aren't Disney are now owned by Paramount Skydance, it seems. So
Well, they
there's a
said
lot of it.
they plan on raising prices next year.
Oh, Lord, your cable provider's going to be going dark with a bunch of basic cable channels now. Just like Disney's done to my YouTube TV feed. It'll
Yeah,
happen.
exactly.
Oh, Lord. Well, let's reset the table for the morning. Party time yesterday on optimism about a budget impasse breakthrough, and looks like the commodities were up as well, and we got a pretty good idea where everybody got the money because they sold Bitcoin off. 45 minutes before we open this morning, what are we looking at?
Well, I still got a mixed bag this morning, Dave. The Dow is up 0.04%. That's a whole $20. The S&P 500 is down almost 0.25%, and the Nasdaq 100 is down almost 0.5%. So everything but the Dow is in red territory. Hey, on the other side of the coin, I don't know what you did yesterday or Friday, but man, silver popped up to $51.01 an ounce. That's up 1.4% from yesterday's close. Gold's up 7 tenths. Man, it's getting up there too. It's at $4,151 an ounce. Crude oil up almost 1% this morning to $60.69 a barrel.
Well, I can't do everything the right direction, you know. Looks like gold and silver are finally coming out of the correction a little bit, and that's good news for investors there. Overseas markets, the Asian Rim mostly red, a little bit of profit taking overnight as they noticed that our futures weren't continuing the skyrocket we started yesterday. Mainland Chinese markets were down by on average about 0.5%. European markets, on the other hand, pretty optimistic. They're happy to see the possibility of us reopening. Average European index up by about 0.75% halfway through the European trading day. Getting my retirement together so I can actually do it someday is something that ought to be on a lot of people's front table. How do I find you to make my retirement a reality?
Then give us a call at 863-382-0037 to schedule just a 30-minute phone call where we'll make sure that they're on the path they need to be on for the retirement they dreamed of. And then catch us for the Statler Financial radio show this weekend, 6 a.m. and noon on Saturday, 10 a.m. Sunday morning on Highlands News Talk, 7:30 a.m. and 95.3 FM.
And back here tomorrow morning, you'll be here with Scott tomorrow morning, if I understand it correctly, and we'll keep everybody updated through the week as well. Thank you, my friend, and I will catch you then, all right?
All right, man. Have a great day.
Be well. It's 105.7 Light FM and Statler Financial Services, Philip Statler.
Hey, folks, again, I want to thank you for joining us today. It is a little chilly out there. Hope you stay warm and join us again tomorrow. Same time, same place. Until then, have a great day. Bye now.